Now, a cold piece of reality far as this generation of hip-hop is that addiction and hip-hop go hand in hand. The persona of the young street rapper today consists of drugging and thugging. And when you add depression into the mix, which is something a lot of these youngins are experiencing today, it's really what a lot of today's hip-hop generation is battling. Tune in, because we're going to break down why today's hip-hop and addiction go hand in hand. For example, right, NBA YoungBoy, which happens to be one of today's biggest streaming rap artists, is currently in federal custody, stemming from charges in Utah from allegedly running a fraudulent prescription drug ring.
Louisiana-based rapper NBA YoungBoy has been arrested in northern Utah. The rapper, whose real name is Kentrell Deshaun Galden, was under house arrest as he awaited trial on federal gun charges. Several agencies, including the FBI and Secret Service, executed a search warrant yesterday morning. He is charged, or is facing, 63 charges for his alleged involvement in a large-scale prescription fraud ring.
Now, when it all boils down, NBA YoungBoy's addiction to cough syrup was the motivation behind these alleged charges. Over the recent years, NBA YoungBoy has also dealt with depression and mental health issues, which also can be triggers to backslide into addiction. And tragically, fatal overdose is something that plagues the new generation, along with a number of hip-hop artists whose lives were cut short due to addiction.
I had a drug problem,
To find out, Mac Miller died here just before noon. TMZ reporting it was a drug overdose.
For Memphis rapper Gangsta Boo. You might remember the artist, whose real name is Lola Mitchell, died suddenly on New Year's Day at a home in Whitehaven. The medical examiner has ruled her death an accidental overdose. The report shows the cause of death as drug toxicity, a combination of alcohol, cocaine, and a type of fentanyl.
Fans on social media, they are speculating, and they're speculating that his death was the result of a drug overdose of the popular drugs lean and Xanax.
The facts is a simple, harsh piece of reality. Addiction is one of hip-hop's dark secrets, which, sad to say, has become a promotion tool for these rappers today. Somewhere along the way, drugging has become the norm. And meanwhile, all these perks these rappers brag about popping have become laced with a fatal ingredient called fentanyl, a synthetic opioid which happens to be the leading cause in overdoses today. Kodak Black even got a hit song called Gremlin, who topped the charts with a famous line, "I knew that perk was fake, but I still ate it 'cause I'm a gremlin." But the reality in that famous line in that famous song, he knew the perk was fake, but he still ate it 'cause he addicted. So addicted, he was willing to chance overdosing because them withdrawal symptoms are so bad, he'd rather take a chance with his life before experiencing them crucial withdrawals from being addicted to them Percocets. And these addictions are so bad, these rappers rather risk their lives and their freedom before experiencing them withdrawal symptoms once they addicted to these Percocets that all these rappers brag about popping. Whether it's Percocets or that lean they drinking, the withdrawal symptoms are the same because these are opioids just like heroin. Something that's the hardest thing in the world to get off of once you're addicted to.
First it was perks, and then he just moved on to drink. Like the more money he got, like the more he got to be able, like when you got money, nigga, you can, if you afford your habit, like you good. If you can't afford your habit, then don't do it.
It's a perk 45 in here. Yeah, we finna pour it. We finna pour it. 8 in here. Look at how they be pouring an 8 or a 9. 9. Oh, you pouring a 9 here. It's a hurt 45 in here. Or no, not the only way to get there on us. I never big for that. No, it's a perk 45 in here. 1 and 9.
You see, hip-hop's dark drug addiction, along with depression, just isn't a fight that these young rap artists is battling. Man, this is a battle these young whole generation is currently facing. So if you got some youngins, man, that you really care for, make sure you checking on your people, man, straight up. Being a yes man ain't gonna help them with these demons they fighting. It's only gonna make things worse. Somewhere along the way, somehow they done made drugging a cool thing, man. In reality, these youngins are drugging to numb the mental illness. But the reality of the situation is, these drugs only add to the mental depression that these young generation is suffering from, man. Not to mention, man, these damn pharmaceutical companies, man, they flooded the streets years ago just to make billions. But in the process, they caused the drug epidemic that we now face with. And unfortunately, man, this thing gotten so bad. Man, this big old mess that they done created has become impossible to clean up now, man, straight up. And what these rappers don't mention in these rap songs is how hard it is to quit these opioids once a person is addicted. And behind the curtains, these rappers, man, they really strung out, man. The ones that's really living what they saying far as with all this drugging they doing. You see, once they addicted, man, they really need these drugs, man. Probably can't even have a productive day if they ain't got these drugs. Probably can't even get up out the bed, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what they ain't speaking on. This is what they ain't saying. They only trying to make this stuff sound cool. But behind closed doors, all the money that they make, the majority of that, or a nice percentage of that, is going to keeping these drugs in their system, just to make sure they feel normal. It becomes a time when the drugs, it ain't even about getting high no more. It's just about making sure you stay feeling normal. And this is what they don't mention behind these curtains, man. That these rappers is really, really strung out, man. So, yeah. Anybody that's coming up that look up and think that these drugs is cool, popping perks, drinking lean, just know you're going to depend on this. You're going to be willing to risk your freedom, risk your life, just not to experience withdrawals. This is what these rappers don't talk about. And this is why now today, the harsh reality, the hip-hop generation and drug addiction goes hand in hand. Back in the day, the rappers spoke and rapped and bragged about being a dealer. Now this generation raps and brags about being the copper, the junkie, the man buying the drugs. In reality, neither one was cool. Man, this Bezo. Y'all like, y'all share, y'all subscribe. I said what I said. HipHop's dark secret, drug addiction. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Peace.
Man, I was facing jail time. This right before I went. And I couldn't get off the weed and codeine. Like,
so codeine?
I needed help. I never, when I got to prison, I did more codeine than I was doing on the streets. I needed help. It was no amount of time that I was facing that could make me get off it. Vlad, you gotta understand, we be needing help.